Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. You catch me just as we start.
Thank you, identified.
Our descent into the UAE. Meant to be 310 level by Dexo here. Unfortunately, we're a tad bit high, and we're catching up on that just now. Passing 380, descending quickly to make that 310 by Dexo. Little birdie told me that it's going to be absolutely fine, but I'm getting the impression that we might be slightly high. Speed breaks out. So let me tell you what I've got planned for our arrival today. Let's see if I can't show it to you. Here we go, back on Sunbrief. We're expecting a boot-tip arrival via full Delta, which is the southern downwind. At some point we get a turn onto the final here.
Emirates 84 Lima, which stand are you on?
We get to do 30 left the ILS in Dubai.
13 Bravo,
and we plan on vacating proper Kilo 8 and going to Concourse AOP.
Emirates 84 Lima, just check.
Basic, everything else is set for our arrival. The inbound courses are automatic here on the Airbus. Minimums for our arrival today, 270 over the barrel.
2225. Emirates 4 Lima, roger. Question start through, stand 13 Bravo, information.
Enjoying the Christmas break, which is probably why I'm slightly late. I think
right.
we're going to end up slightly high in Texas, especially when it's gone to All Star already.
We have started through on the 3 right about the 4 Lima.
3 mile, I think we're just about going to make it. Speed All Star, the speed breaks here. Yeah, unfortunately we are a tad bit high here at Texas. I'm sure it's forgivable.
Emirates 7 Charlie November, nothing further, monitor Unicom, correction launch advisory, 122 decimal, goodbye.
Advisory 122 decimal, Emirates 7 Charlie November, goodbye. Alright, so I was under the impression that there was going to be an event, but I think I'm a little early for that event. It starts at 8, it's currently, 8 Dubai local time, and Dubai is 4 hours, so it's currently 19:25, 7:25 here in Dubai, so still a little bit early for the event. I did think we lost some time on the flight, especially since we departed Heathrow already a little bit later. But overall it seems that we are now arriving in Dubai earlier than expected, and we're expected to touch down 3 minutes before the event starts at 19:57. Which is fine, unfortunately there's not as much ATC as I expected. So we are here to celebrate the UAE's National Day. So I've been told that the background noise is slightly excessive, so let me turn that down for everybody involved. Thank you very much, Boomy Girl. I hope that is a little bit more manageable for you guys. If it's not, let me know. You can follow my stream on a couple places, on Twitch, on YouTube, both under Pitch and Power on Twitch, Pitch and Power, Pitch November Power on YouTube. Alright folks, so the PA is done, the descent checklist is I don't actually know if the Airbus has a descent checklist. No, it's got an approach checklist, so we'll do that passing 10,000 feet. At this point, we're going to go continue a descent down to 250, which is a common sort of flight level that's given to us in the UAE. And then we'll start the VTIP arrival. So the VTIP arrival, basically, I suppose we can go through it. There's no harm. There we go. So if you can see both the screens, the VTIP arrival starts at position VTIP at 12 below, which we are going to be. Next is Lovok at 11 below, and once it's at 10 here, and then we go on to Patit at or above 9,000 feet, 8,000 here, and then the arrival takes us all the way down. The next is the speed restriction 185 at 524. As we turn around to Old Dot, it's 3,000, 3,000, 2,000 motors. Which is all in the box, which has already been checked, and we're here for the key part of the arrival, which everyone's interested in, the actual landing. I've got a new program on, well it's not a new program, but it's one that I've just reinstalled now for flights of 2024, which is G's, or G's, so it's going to tell you our landing G's on landing, yeah, so we're going to try to butter this baby down. Let's also use brake to vacate today. A few streams ago we tried it on the Airbus A350, but there's likely a little problem with the 350 and navigation, especially because I'm using a beta version of Flight Simulator. So Dubai, let's see what Dubai Airport's going to be like. Let's display that. Previously there used to be a short freeze frame here. Let's see if that happens. No, it doesn't. We're expecting to land on runway 30 left. Let's see why I can't actually select that. It's quite zoomed out. On the map we will land on 30 left and we'll plan to exit. Oh. Okay, 30 left and we'll plan to exit on exit Kilo 8. That gives us a runway occupancy time of 69 seconds. And Kilo 8 exit is at 2,062 meters in. And with the brakes, we're probably going to require 164 minutes for turnaround, 143 reverse, which we shall do. So let's go ahead and arm brake to vacate as well. And that should take care of matters for us. It's going to be a flaps 3 landing. Unlike the 320 family, we don't necessarily need to set it up on the overhead. It takes the information straight from the flight managing computer, the CDU, FMC, FMGS. They'll take it from there. We're still waiting for the UAE to show up. Hopefully they do, but it's not expected, let's say. Let's get the lights down low for the arrival. Very nice. Let's continue descent to 10,000 feet. I'm monitoring the traffic situation here on VPilot. So it's going to tell me roughly who's ahead and who's going to be maybe involved with us on our arrival. So as far as I can see, converging into Dubai, not a lot of traffic. Most of the traffic seems to already be in Dubai. And there seems to be somebody on the way to Dubai already on the arrival. So I think we're just going to be able to use high speed for this approach into Dubai. That being said, 280 knots isn't necessarily high speed. So let's go ahead and pull that up to a nice realistic number. So speed window's open, speed is pulled, speed 320 set. Speed descent to nav. Yep, nice mood lighting, that's correct. Approach checklist after transition level and 10,000 feet. Okay, super. Transition level today is flight level 150. It's a Gulf standard, so most of the countries in the Gulf do have the same transition level. So I know Kuwait, Bahrain, I think parts of Saudi Arabia as well, is subject to the actual elevation of the airport we're flying to, also use transition level 150. Maybe even Oman, I think probably also Oman. Our also today is CWC. The weather's the same as in Dubai, which is pretty nice weather. Let me read out the latest VTAR for you, so we know what we're flying into. Well, I know already, obviously I've done my preparations, it's not a last minute thing. It says it's marginal VFR. Well, to me it seems super VFR. It's 8,000 meters with no significant clouds, temperature 26 degrees, altimeter 1015. The wind is westerly, northwesterly, 340 at 7. And I'll go ahead and set 1015. Standby on the nav displays, on the altimeter there, 1015 is pre-selected. So obviously because we're now going in as number 1, I'm not going to reduce speed at VTEP. We're going to go accelerate straight through. So you'll be able to see how much of a shortcut that is. At the moment it's 1557, estimated with the full star in Dubai. And we'll see how quickly we can actually get her down. That's going to be the exercise today. Speed brakes are stored from our early descent to Dexo, which was slightly late due to pilot mismanagement. Super. Let's find out where the actual Emirates 8 parked today, or is going to park today. And we'll try to go to the same parking spot. It just is Terminal 3. Which I already knew, but we didn't know which gate, and it seems that we won't have that information. So my plan with giving myself free speed until air traffic control comes on, let me tell you what speeds I'm going to fly. So let me bring you back here onto SimBrief. So at SimBrief, of course, we're going to go through here at 320 knots, passing Patted. It says at 210, but what we're going to do is slow down to 240 knots. As we go overhead the field, we'll go to up speed, and then we'll give ourselves a turnaround 2 cock onto the final, and then we'll do sort of standard speeds 180 to 10 miles, and then 160 to 4 miles. And landing 30 left with the brake to vacate to assist us. This is not recommended in real life. I think it might even be prohibited, but we are having a little bit of fun. A little bit of wine after dinner, always nice for your blood flow. So I've been told. Okay, so I haven't heard that perfectly well, but it seems like this is Sky Dubai. He's going to be landing on runway 30 right today. I'm trying to look for this gentleman here. Okay, I'm visual now. I see them on the radar screen. Looks to be maybe a daytop arrival. If there is a daytop arrival, I'm not familiar anymore. But we're going to track accordingly. So I'm just going to make callouts at VTEP. For past transition level, the altimeter needs to be reset to 1015. And here on the standby as well, 1015. It's set. Obviously here I was expecting us to slow down, but we're not. We're going to keep high speed as we go through, and I'll advise we're at VTEP. Dubai traffic, Emirates 7 Charlie November Super. Passing now 12,000 feet, approaching position VTEP for the VTEP 4 Delta, pilot's approach runway 30 left. Dubai traffic, Emirates 7 Charlie November. This is something similar to a TBA procedure which is used in uncontrolled airfields around the world. While there's no air traffic controllers here on VATSIM, you want to broadcast your intention so that other pilots are aware of where you're going and what you're doing, and to expect you so that nobody's actually surprised when you show up. I have, however, been advised that this is not necessarily a requirement. It's a nice to do thing, but I always find it, in fact, nice to do. So we're going to do it today as well. I'm taking a look here at the Code F taxi charts in Dubai. So behind Concourse Bravo and Charlie, I think I can show you again very quickly on Navigraph. How do I pull that up for you guys now? There you go. Behind Bravo and Charlie concourses, we're not actually allowed to use the inner taxiway, which is uniform. So all the turns will come out straight from Juliet, which is also a pushback procedure. So it can be only one A380 at a time on Juliet, as we well, not one A380 at a time. They're only allowed to use Juliet. If you're a 777 or a medium aircraft, you can fly between uniform. You can taxi between uniform and Juliet in opposite directions as well. But here, obviously, because of the wingspan of the 380, that's not quite allowed. And here are some sections. It's section 1, Code F aircraft cannot be on taxiway Juliet and Juliet 1 curve at the same time as Code Echo aircraft on uniform whiskey curve. So yeah, they're just looking out for our wingtip clearances around here. which is something you need to review if you're flying the Airbus A380. Still 320 knots, we passed low walk below 10,000 feet. Next day is patted above 8,000, so I'll go ahead and set 9,000 here. We don't need to do an insane rate of descent, so we can go ahead and set 500 foot per minute. Nice gentle descent as everybody else eats our wake. And the little arrow there is telling me that based on the vertical speed that I've set, I'm going to hit 9,000 exactly at patted, and from there I'm going to go down to maybe 6,000 feet just to duck under Delta Bravo 532 and set us up nicely on the left downwind for runway 30 left. Approaching 10,000 feet, let's go ahead and get the belts on. I think they actually do it a bit earlier on the A380. I do not know for sure, just because there's a lot of people. Today we're carrying 484 passengers, and this is what we look like now. Logo's on, landing lights on, and this behemoth is now preparing for its arrival into Dubai. We should have timed it a little bit better, to be honest. A few minutes later on a departure from Heathrow would have helped, but I did think we were already well. I did think a little bit of the event traffic would show up slightly early. You can see parts of the runway there, the two of 1-2 left and 1-2 right in Dubai. And there is Sharjah airfield as well. I do not know if it's A380 capable, but it's also on the 3012 configuration. Pretty long runway as well. And at this point we can go ahead and do the approach checklist. Barrow reference, QNH 1015. Seatbelts on, minimums, barrow reference again as well, reference to barrow, sorry, at 270 feet on both sides. The auto brakes are set to BTV, brake to vacate. Checklist complete. So I see already there's some traffic lower ahead of us. Looks like this person is shortly joining the final track for Dubai. I'm trying to figure out who that is and where they are. It could be a departure out of Dubai actually, or it could be the Sky Dubai that was reporting, but they should be at 16,000 feet, so slightly higher than us. I think that might be the Sky Dubai then. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that. Okay, after patted, descend to 6,000 feet, and we can go ahead and do an open descent. At 320 knots. So it's going to be a rapid rate of descent here. Since there's no ATC up in Dubai yet, we're going to go ahead and choose a parking stand for ourselves. We'll choose the Alpha stance because then, the Delta stance, because then there's a train ride to immigration. I always like a little bit of a train ride. Okay, so it seems I can't actually select it. So we need to be 7,000 feet below at Delta Bravo 532, which we will be able to comply with. Passing soon overhead the field. Let's go back to about 230 knots. And the speed limit's exceeded. Yep, that's on purpose. And the clean speed today is 195, so let's go ahead and set 210. These are sort of similar standard speeds that are used by the UAE, and will be cleared now to 4,000 feet on the downwind. 4,000 is set. And let's take a look from the outside. Passing right overhead Dubai, and that's the threshold for our landing runway 30 left. Views of downtown. Given that it's the UAE National Day, might be nice to see a few fireworks. That's an optional extra here on Flight Simulator. There was an old scenery by God, I don't remember who it was now, but when we landed to Kai Tak in Hong Kong, they used to have the 8 p.m. City of Lights show or something in Hong Kong that was actually depicted in Flight Simulator, which was always quite interesting. Killed your frame rates, especially in Flight Simulator X.
Dubai traffic, Qatar 65 Bravo, 15 miles final 30 left, Dubai traffic.
Okay, so I'm gonna try squeeze myself in behind the Qatari, because of the Sky Dubai seems to be at 10,000 feet so a decent height away. But I'm gonna keep an eye out because I don't want to be troublesome, let's say. Okay, so the next altitude, let's go ahead and set 3,000 feet, anticipating that we're gonna get our turn. LS on both sides as we prepare for the ILS. And the identifier will be India Delta Bravo Whiskey. It is ready and selected. Deselect glide? No, we want the glide. I guess you do that on a localized only approach, which we are not flying at the moment. So the Sky Dubai is also on downwind. That's him there. And I think just given that I'm lower, I don't anticipate that they would be brave enough to turn base now. So we're going to try turn base behind the Qatari here. Dubai traffic, Emirates 7 Charlie November Super, 5,500 feet on a left downwind, position RRP, 4 runway 30 left. Dubai traffic. Okay, so a call out also including our altitude, just so that the Sky Dubai knows. I see there's another one there. Seems to be coming in as well. Okay, which then means that this is unreasonable for us to then turn in behind the Qatari. So we're probably going to let that guy go unless the Qatari is past here. I think it's doable.
Dubai traffic, Qatar 65 Bravo, 10 miles final 30 left, Dubai traffic.
Yeah, no, we're going to let the... Dubai traffic, Sky Dubai 628, currently passenger 7,700 for 3,000. We'll be breaking off the standard arrival momentarily to give room for the Emirates Super behind us. We'll be joining our left base via waypoint Delta Bravo 504 and then final establish on the ILS 30 left. Dubai traffic, Sky Dubai 628.
Sky Dubai 628, this is the Emirates 7 Charlie November behind you. I think you should go ahead. There's another traffic that's not quite making any callouts. I think it's Air India 320. They seem to be on final as well.
Driver 7 November Charlie, I've got him on TCAS, so I'll wait until he's abeam me and then I'll make that left turn.
Wonderful, we'll go behind you, Emirates 7 Charlie November.
Charlie Charlie.
Alright. So we're now waiting for the Air India 320. Subsequently Type Airbus 320 as well. It would be nice, especially when you're flying into a busy airport, to maybe make callouts. But you can't expect everything from everyone, I suppose. So unfortunately what this means for us, we have descended unnecessarily quickly, and maybe at the end of the day the Sky Dubai got the better of us. And here we are, almost flat in level with 1,000 to go and plenty of track miles.
Dubai traffic, Qatar 65 Bravo, 5 miles final 30 left.
In all honesty, I do think we could have turned in and left enough room for the Air India, but
Dubai traffic, Sky Dubai 628, now going to make a left turn, proceeding to waypoint Delta Bravo 505 from the left base behind the Air India aircraft on final. Dubai traffic, it's Sky Dubai 628.
okay, Sky Dubai 628, that's the guy ahead of us. He'll start his turn just now. He's shown up on TCAS and he's about same level as us, so both of us are now well below the glide. So a super stable approach, which is exactly what we want, isn't it? Thank you, Kendra 5101. We're not looking for donations at the moment, it's just sort of for fun. Thank you. I have the strange feeling that you might be a bot as well. Didn't expect to see you here, so welcome. Kendra 5101. So I have not gone this far out in a very long time. Let's continue that descent to 2,000 feet now. And let's go ahead with the first notch of flaps. There's no point speeding
Dubai
away
traffic
with
started
speed.
by 628 now on the left base, join the ILS.
Speed 180.
Left at Dubai traffic started by 628.
So we are now well into the desert. If you look outside, you can see some patrols. And over there is a used Land Cruiser 2025 model year that's stuck and is now being pulled by 2 patrols. I wouldn't put it on driver's kill, but maybe. Dubai traffic, Emirates 7 Charlie November, now turning left base, runway 30 left, Dubai. Left turn heading 030, we're following that FlyByWire in. He's going to 504, we'll sort of track 505. And I desperately hope they do the 180 to 10, 160 to 4 sort of situation as well. We're going to try sequence this flight plan. The last few times I've tried to do it on the...
Dubai traffic, Dubai 628 on extended 1001 final, approximately 22.5 miles to run, to runway 30 left, we'll block 10 miles, Sky Dubai 628, Dubai traffic.
So the last time I tried to sequence the flight plan here on the flight, so we're going to try. We could turn to Delta Bravo 504, but we want to give the Sky Dubai some additional time. Most likely, I mean, I don't know, our final bird speed today is probably around 140 knots, which I think will be similar to what the FlyByWire is doing. And let's go ahead and turn for our final. Quite far out, but the localizer signal is ready. We're still doing 500 foot per minute because that's the minimum required in the Dubai CTA. And look at us, 23 miles out, flat and level at 2,000 feet, with not all that much traffic. Approach mode's armed. Autopilot 2 is engaged as well. Land 3 2. We're not going to end up doing an auto land, but this is, I've been told that this is actually sort of standard Airbus procedure. I might be wrong, probably am. And let's also go ahead and sequence the
And
flight
Emirates
plan.
7 Charlie November, Sky Dubai 628, that's Air India 320 is texting, doesn't work out voice capability.
Sorry, you got to say again for Emirates 7 Charlie November?
7 Charlie November, Sky Dubai 608, I believe that Air India ahead of me got no voice capability, I think he's only texting on VPilot.
Oh, okay, I see it now. Thanks very much, 628. Alright, so he was texting on VPilot. In all fairness, that's pretty good. So if you've been watching and I've talked shit about you, I apologize. You've done the bare minimum, and that's all we can ask. Thank you very much. I'm just used to maybe Air India's, Express India's, iFly's not actually doing what they're meant to do. So good on you, and thank you. So let's go ahead and slow down a bit more, because I think we're catching up to that Sky Dubai. Let's go ahead for flaps 2 there, and let's fly the flaps 2 speed. To be fair, if I leave it on managed, it should take care of it, because the approach mode is now active. Yes, so it seems I have learned something. So let me go and see what it says on VPilot here. The Air India 320 did say 30 miles and has now reported 10 miles as of 3 minutes ago. So they should be pretty close to landing. And based on what I see here on Navigraph, he is pretty close, yeah, pretty close to landing. Delivery is now active, ATIS from delivery is active, and they are saying 30 left as well. Enhanced weight, turbulence separation, all that stuff. So we are getting pretty close to the Sky Dubai. Let's go ahead and configure to our final speed and flaps. We're about 5 miles and closing. Let's I think speed 160 is healthy, maybe 150 is healthy, and that should give us about 5 miles of separation with the Sky Dubai 628 ahead. He's at SETPO, which is the intermediate fix for the ILS approach 30 left, which is 4 miles. And we are fully configured for the landing, so we can just go ahead and do the landing checklist as well.
And Dubai traffic, Sky Dubai 628 at 10 miles.
Checklist
That's 180 knots indicated. Establishing the ILS localizer 30 left. We'll be landing runway 30 left. With intentions to vacate via Mike 8 to the right. Sky Dubai 628, Dubai traffic now landing runway 30 left with 9 miles to run.
10 miles, Mike 8. Okay, so giving himself a shortcut there. That's nice to go via Mike 8. And we are now going, we're approaching Setbo. Polite of the gentleman there to 180 knots 10. But I think this is our fate for today. Flight and level at 2,000 feet, fully configured, ready to land. Look at that. If you're passengers, if you are one of the passengers on board this aircraft today, you'll enjoy the views off the left and the right. Sand on the left side, and what looks like very expensive housing or a resort. I haven't quite figured out what that is yet. And on the right side you have sand as well. So yeah, enjoy the view. Okay, so that separation's now worked up to 5 miles, and I can see that they are now on the glided position modus. Momentarily now we should start seeing glide slope deflection on our primary flight display as well. Let me just entertain myself very quickly. And since we're practically almost set up for the arrival, as soon as the glide slope's live, I think we'll fly it manually. There's not much else going on here. Obviously I'll advise that I'm now on the glide slope, on the ILS, and that should be sufficient. Excuse me, stream. We have a visitor who has just joined the stream at a low altitude, so you haven't been able to see said visitor. Okay, fantastic. You've activated my mood lighting, by the way. Glide slope's alive. Now we'll close the speed window here. Dubai traffic, Emirates, 7 Charlie, November Super, establish ILS 30 left, 6 miles. Okay, so we are now all set. Checklist is complete. We'll take one last sip. Missed approach altitude needs to be set. That's going to be 3,000 feet today. And we'll... do you have any input? Autopilot 1 and 2 are on already. So let me introduce my sister here. She is my Airbus expert. She flies Airbus 320. Also a commando. But today I'm flying her aircraft type, so she's here for reference. And she's telling me that Autopilot 2 has not been engaged, so now Autopilot 2 is in fact engaged, which is pointless because I'm just about to disconnect and fly anyway. Alright, wish me all the best. Landing lights can go on here. We'll throw on all the lights. Wing, the camera, and the nose lights. And we'll make one last call. Dubai traffic, Emirates 7 Charlie, November
1,000.
3 miles, ILS 30 left, landing 30 left, and we'll vacate to the left on Kilo 8. Dubai.
Dubai traffic, Sky Dubai 628 vacated runway 30 left at Mike 12 Bravo onto Mike, taxiing via Mike and Mike 2 crossing runway 30 right onto November 2, Papa 2, Papa 2, Papa 2, stand Echo 8. Dubai traffic, Sky Dubai 628.
Thanks very much for working out the separation. You have a great night. Skydiver 628.
Same to you, 7 Charlie November. Have a good landing.
Dubai traffic is Malta 499, LS 30 left 10 miles.
Alright, so we're at 10 miles, so we're working out roughly about 9 miles separation with this gentleman. We are doing a ground speed about 130 knots. We're losing the glide just a little bit, but we don't want to be. We want to be careful with chasing the glide slope this low down. From here on, I'm just going to go sort of on a visual aiming point technique. I'm kind of looking to keep the popping exactly where it was on my windshield. Don't really have to worry about the speed because it's an Airbus and it's doing its thing.
Minimum.
Continue. Just have to remember the seating position on the 380 is quite a bit higher than on other aircraft.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
.03 G, not bad. The 2-degree glide side slip. Alright, welcome to Dubai. Yeah, we're going to decelerate through 60 knots speed brakes. Sorry, the reverses are now stowed. And it turns out we didn't even need the brake to vacate today, so we're going to go ahead and disconnect that. Brake to vacate is now active. And it's kicked off. Ideally you want to try to exit, you want to try to get to these numbers around 45 knots, so that you can then take this high speed. Exclusively on your rudders, there should be enough authority over enough airflow over your rudder pedals to be able to exit to the left. And in our case, we're going to carry on Juliet 2. So I'll advise. Dubai traffic, Emirates 7 Charlie November, vacated 30 left, Dubai. And we'll step on the brakes now. Speed brakes can go in. So we have all of these new wannabe streamers who just joined me. Or we can call them my support system. So we're going to Concourse Alpha, and we'll go somewhere at the back, which is going to be one of the Delta gates. Let's go ahead and select Delta 6. We don't need to follow me. And I'll go ahead and start the timer so we have cooldown. Taxi, we'll leave that on for the taxi in. Strobes can go out, so we leave the landing lights on. Let's slow down to 15 knots. I believe there is in fact a speed restriction on the AOI charts here. I'm just going to take a quick look at Navigraph to make sure there's nobody who I'm going to interrupt there. And I'll advise. Dubai traffic, Emirates 7 Charlie November joining taxiway Juliet for stand Delta 6. Dubai traffic. I see someone's parked in one of the Delta stands, and I don't want to be.
Yeah, Dubai traffic, Sky Dubai 628, crossing 130 right at Mike 2 onto November 2, will advise and vacate at Dubai traffic, Sky Dubai 628.
Flaps are going up, and the surveillance can go to standby. Don't need the TCAS anymore. It's been 6 hours and 29 minutes since takeoff to landing, and so far we've been moving for about 6 hours and 48. Oh, who's that? Eagle Air from Brazil. Bom dia. Tudo bem? If you're Brazilian, follow me. I love Brazilians. Don't speak Português, não falo português, but eu entendo pouco. Okay, we're texting a little bit fast here.
Dubai 628, cross runway 30 right, taxi by November 2, Papa 22, stand Echo 8, Dubai traffic, Sky Dubai 628.
Okay, so we can go ahead and start the that APU there. I'm slightly embarrassed with myself. Sorry about that, Air India 320. If you're also watching the stream, good job. I would recommend maybe headsets and to feel free to talk. I know sometimes it can be nerve-wracking, but once you do it a couple times, it's quite simple. and it does make it fun for everybody else. You know, it's cool to see and hear different voices from all over the world join in on our virtual hobby. So Delta 6 turning in, just gonna overshoot that a little bit and then crank tight left turn. We're doing about 3 knots over the ground, and we'll bump up the engines on the right to help keep that speed through. We'll turn off and taxi lights. Very nice. Honestly, I'm quite pleased with that. And as we straighten up, it's gaining speed again, so let's hold it back to about 4 knots. Okay, and we'll look at what that was. That was A380 800. Yeah, slow down. Okay, so a little bit on the faster side of things. Okay, cool. We've arrived, ladies and gents. Thrust is idle. Parking brake is set. The APU is available, so we can go ahead and shut down all the engines. All engines are off. You parked a bit to the right. It's okay. We're all learning. We'll get the APU bleed on, the beacon lights can go off, passengers can move about. I'm not too fussy about your mobile phones. I think that's a very old thing. Mobile phones these days are a lot better. Let's not have all 400 passengers use the mobile phone at the same time. But other than that, if you're like 20 or 30 people using the mobile phone, I don't really see what the fuss is. And that's it, folks. It's been 6 hours and 51 minutes from when we pushed at Heathrow. We have now arrived in Dubai, and I have to say it was a decent-ish landing. If you had a decent amount of time, if you had a decent time here on the stream, do join me for the next ones. I do these probably once a week at minimum. I enjoy Flight Simulator. Unfortunately, this entire room is now going to get renovated. So probably over the course of the next week, I might not be as active. But we will see you, and do leave your comments on YouTube or Twitch if you can, and I'd love to hear your feedback. And here's the plane that brought us out. And we'll see you the next time. We wish you a pleasant evening, and we hope you put your Christmas trees up already. Have a wonderful time, and thanks for joining me.